A 23-year-old city princess went on a blind date with a rural boy. Upon hearing that the boy's monthly income was only 5,000 yuan, her face immediately fell. She even mockingly asked him how much money he had.
你现在有多少存款？
As soon as they met, the honest boy was stunned by such a blunt question. Seeing that he hadn't figured out her real intentions, the princess shamelessly started talking about herself.
目前是存款肯定是一分没有，也是一个月光族。
She straightforwardly said that although her income wasn't low, she really loved makeup, dressing up, and going out. After spending all her salary, she still needed her parents' financial support. At this point, the boy finally understood and confidently responded.
10来块说吧，多了也没有太多，10个8个也有。
Hearing that the boy had saved up a considerable amount of money at such a young age, the princess's attitude softened immediately. But when she remembered his rural background, the girl began to talk about her spending habits.
我平时呢，我一瓶香水就要1000多，我一支口红就要300多，但是我很喜欢买。
These simple words instantly shattered the boy's worldview. He wondered how much he would have to work to support such a gold digger. The boy's name was Xiao Luo, and he was 23 years old. He currently runs a small auto repair shop. Coming from a poor rural family made him a little insecure. He had suffered a lot over the years, and life was just starting to improve. So, he mustered the courage to ask a matchmaker to help him find a girlfriend who was decent in every way.
大人的双眼皮到1.6米到1.7米吧，完事必须得说持家，就是说还得孝敬父母，还能陪我吃多少苦。
Such idealistic standards for a blind date gave the matchmaker a headache. But Xiao Luo believed that since he had been single for many years and had savings, he deserved to find a good girl. Before long, the matchmaker found a girl who seemed to meet his requirements. Xiao Yu, 23 years old, had lived in the city since childhood. Her figure and appearance were impeccable, but her mother, aware of her daughter's flaws, wanted her to marry a reliable rural boy.
我妈妈她是一个比较封建、比较迂腐的人，因为可能是生活环境的关系吧，然后她对我就是没有什么太大的要求，她就是希望我赶快找一个男朋友，然后就随随便便嫁了那个样子的。
When they first met, Xiao Luo was immediately captivated by Xiao Yu's beauty. The upward curve of his mouth revealed how much he liked her. Then, he led everyone to his rented room to show off how neat and tidy he was.
收拾成这样也可以，因为我生活中就是一个不怎么利落的女孩子，比较邋遢。你会做吗？
As the two exchanged words, their relationship gradually warmed up, but the harmony didn't last long. Xiao Yu soon brought up the issue of buying a house.
我觉得房子是一个硬性条件，咋整？
买呗，不说也得买。
Even such a sincere response from Xiao Luo wasn't enough to win Xiao Yu over. After asking about his income and savings, she still wanted to test him further. She mentioned that her monthly salary wasn't enough to cover her expenses and that she was a moonlight clan herself, needing her parents to supplement her income. Even her makeup costs were a significant monthly expenditure.
那你大概是能接受自己的女朋友买多少钱的化妆品？
那不，你没有想过可以拿。
Hearing Xiao Luo being so generous, Xiao Yu assumed he didn't yet understand the spending habits of modern beauties. After all, she wouldn't settle for less. Perfumes and lipsticks, which often cost hundreds or thousands, were must-buys for her. She couldn't even sleep if she didn't bring home something she liked.
我见到这个就是我不买不行的那种，我这个人就是有点报复性消费心理。
Such spending habits shocked Xiao Luo. He had only heard of revenge earning, never revenge buying. Especially since he wasn't from a wealthy family, those words, "I can give you money," felt a little too bold now. He then tried to negotiate with Xiao Yu.
一个月买一个够了。
一个月买一个，就是这个东西是不一定。对，我不是说定期买，就是我看到了我喜欢的我就要买。
At this point, Xiao Luo shared his opinion. He felt that dating and enjoying meals together was fine, but when it came to marriage, one needed to think more about saving money for unexpected situations. This idea was met with a strong rebuttal from Xiao Yu.
经典的话，我不知道你有没有听过，就是我现在年轻的时候攒钱，然后我70岁的时候我能买一辆宝马，我觉得没有什么用。
Xiao Yu bluntly stated that in an age when one should be spending freely, there shouldn't be any regrets about money. Besides, if she had money and didn't spend it, it would bother her. In the end, Xiao Luo regretfully acknowledged that their different views on spending were too significant, and the blind date ended in failure.
有什么说什么，不是说他这个人不好，而是说他这个人就是和差距上就很明显不合适。
这是不合适。
Whether it's dating or marriage, both involve mutual contributions based on emotions. The misconnection between the princess and the knight may not be a regret, but a result of their habits and values being too different, a conclusion that may have been inevitable from the start. In today's society, there are still many girls in China, like Xiao Yu, who have high material expectations. They often regard financial stability as an important criterion for choosing a partner, hoping not only that their significant other can meet basic living needs, but also that they can provide a higher level of material security. This phenomenon reflects the modern young generation's pursuit of both love and a high quality of life. As society develops and consumer values shift, this emphasis on materialism seems to have become a widespread trend, putting significant pressure on many young men when it comes to relationships. Against this backdrop, finding a balance between emotions and material needs has become a pressing issue that contemporary youth must contemplate.
我是一个失败的捞女，想找有钱人，但是屡战屡败。
I was a failed gold digger. I wanted to find a wealthy man. I once tried to change my life by finding a rich man, but countless failures made me realize that this path is not easy to walk. Looking back to when I was 25 years old, I had just graduated with a master's degree, and I believed that in terms of education, appearance, and age, I had an advantage in the dating market. I thought I could use these assets to find a high-value partner and maximize my chances of success in marriage. At that time, I met all kinds of men. Some of them owned an apartment and a car in first-tier cities, even if it was just a two-bedroom place, driving an entry-level BMW. At that time, I considered them to be rich men. There were also some who were from rural areas but made a million yuan annual salary through entrepreneurship. I also interacted with people like this. Some of them not only had houses and cars but even shared with me some tips and tricks on how to make money. Don't get the wrong idea. My interactions with these men were simple, nothing more. However, as time passed, I gradually realized that walking the relying on men path was not as easy as it seemed. Maybe it was that I had bad luck. None of the men I met were willing to genuinely accept me and seriously consider marriage. Even when I tried hard to provide emotional value, these men often just showed off their wealth or sought to take advantage of me. They would test me, like taking me to high-end shopping malls. Perhaps I felt embarrassed, and in the end, I didn't have the courage to ask for anything, and I ended up with nothing. In these experiences, I never felt any real happiness, let alone any satisfactory returns. Years passed, and by the time I was 28, I finally understood a principle. I shouldn't keep looking for wealthy men. I should become a wealthy person myself. So, I started working as a property manager in Shanghai. You might think this industry is low-end and not worth considering, but I didn't care. I just wanted to earn my own money. From that moment on, I stopped thinking about relying on men to change my fate and focused on building my own career. Some people spoke ill of me and even ridiculed me, thinking I didn't deserve to succeed. They asked if I was trying to gain something by getting accidentally pregnant. Do you think someone like me, who has good looks and a great figure, would need to do that? Some girls also mocked me, saying that my tone of voice is really unbearable. I retorted that anyone who could smell my breath would be qualified to kiss me. I really don't know what they were thinking. In summary, I no longer pay attention to these idle remarks. I am not afraid of those who squeeze me out. If you have something to say, just keep quiet. I will continue on my path.
贫穷又美貌的女孩子就像是一块美味的蛋糕。
A girl who is poor but beautiful is like a tempting dessert. Everyone wants a taste, but once it's finished, they wipe their mouths and walk away without any attachment. For ordinary girls like us, beauty often brings not luck, but traps and troubles. Especially when someone is pretty but not pretty enough, beauty can become a burden. There are actually only two types of girls who can truly enjoy the benefits of their looks. First type is the absolutely beautiful women. These women are born with an incredible advantage in appearance. No matter what they wear or do, they exude breathtaking beauty, like goddess-level celebrities who still shine even in the most ordinary clothes. These people are naturally endowed with a great advantage, and their beauty becomes their greatest asset. The second type consists of girls who are not only beautiful but also smart. They know what they want and are clearly aware that beauty is merely a tool to achieve their goals, not their only reliance. These girls have their own core values, and their appearance only enhances those values. For example, women in the sports world, they don't just rely on their looks to succeed, they rely on their own strength and intelligence. No matter how others evaluate them, beauty is just an amplifier of their value, and their real success comes from inner strength and capability. Many girls mistakenly think that as long as they look good, their lives will be much smoother. They believe that those with outstanding appearances gain many opportunities because of their looks, so some even take the risk of borrowing money for plastic surgery, paying a huge price. However, becoming beautiful requires not only a good foundation but also continuous effort to maintain. No matter how beautiful you are, there will always be someone younger and prettier than you. Therefore, instead of striving for ultimate beauty, it's better to put in moderate effort and raise your appearance to a 6 or 7 out of 10. Such a level of beauty is enough to leave a good first impression and boost your confidence. In fact, most girls can achieve a 6 or 7 in looks with simple weight loss and makeup. Moreover, sisters, the most important thing is that we women must learn to treat beauty as a tool and amplify the opportunities it brings. Elevate our looks to at least a 7 and turn the opportunities beauty brings into long-term capital that we can control.
关于究竟要找什么样的对象这样一个问题，我思考了很久。
I have thought for a long time about what kind of partner I want to find. I believe the most important thing is to find someone I truly like. After careful consideration, I have summarized several key conditions. First, I hope my partner will at least hold a master's degree. Secondly, he must be taller than 175 centimeters. Third, he should be unmarried. Regarding income, a monthly salary between 30,000 to 50,000 yuan would be ideal, so that our life won't be too difficult in the future. Fourth, I hope he has a fixed property in a first-tier or second-tier city, and it must be paid off in full, not on a mortgage. As for a car, I have no requirements for now, we can buy one slowly later on. Fifth, my ideal man must be very talented, someone I can admire. If his talents are particularly outstanding, I can relax the previous conditions slightly. Finally, I hope our future family will not be dink, double income no kids. I would like to have a child, and I hope my partner has a sense of responsibility and can co-parent with me. Although such a partner may be difficult to find, one must always hold on to ideals in life. I look forward to meeting such a person.
I have noticed that when Chinese women go on blind dates to find a partner, they often ask the question, are there any with better conditions? They want to be introduced to men who own a house and a car with stable jobs. If I introduce them to men working in private enterprises, they might even hope to find someone with an annual income of over $1 million, or they prefer if the man is a boss himself. This situation is quite common. These women seem to be making wishes. When I provide profiles of several suitable men, they often find numerous faults. For example, they might say, I'm not very attracted to this person's looks. The photo doesn't give me a good feeling. So, we find more men who meet their appearance criteria while also satisfying their requirements for owning a house and a car. Next, they might continue to complain. Oh, this man only earns over 200,000. Isn't that a bit low? Will he have a lot of financial pressure in the future? If I introduce a businessman, they immediately say, well, this businessman might have a decent income, but his education isn't high enough. He doesn't even have a degree as high as mine, so we might not be able to communicate well in the future. All right, since you say that, we will help her find men with high education. Eventually, we find a man who has a high education, good looks, owns a house and a car, and has an appropriate income. However, at this point, these women bring me a puzzling reversal. How can such a well-qualified man actually be interested in me? Will he be very picky? How come someone so outstanding is still single? Does he have some issues? Everyone can see that these women wish for the best while being skeptical, which leaves me quite helpless. In fact, it's common to find potential partners with excellent conditions, such as those with annual incomes in the millions or who are business owners, even those with assets in the tens of millions. Their presence at blind dates is not strange. If you find such people abnormal, then what does that say about your own circumstances? This actually indicates that your conditions might not be that great. So, if your conditions are lacking, how can you still be so picky? If others are older and remain single, it means there's something wrong with them. Yet, you're also of a similar age and still single. So don't you have issues too? I truly want to remind these women that blind dating is not like shopping, and marriage agencies are not supermarkets. Spending money doesn't mean you can pick and choose freely. The essence of blind dating lies in the willingness of both parties. Whether you can find a suitable partner ultimately depends on yourself, not what the marriage agency can decide. If you don't end up marrying the ideal high-income man, it's really not the matchmaker's fault but your own reasons. Do you understand this? Do you think these women have high standards? Feel free to leave your comments. I'd love to hear your thoughts. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. Your support means a lot to us, and we will continue to provide you with better content. Thank you again for watching, and see you next time.